guys. It's Miss Gaby from the Youth Services Department at the Finkelstein Memorial Library. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about 5 really good books um, for all you middle graders. And hopefully, they might pique your interest and you might check 1 or 2 out. Um, okay, so I don't know. Let's get started. So, my first book is called Caravan to the North, Misael's Long Walk, and it's by Jorge Argueta. And it's a story about a young boy named Misael who's traveling with his family in a caravan from their beloved home, which is El Salvador, to the U.S. border. And I really like it. It's kind of beautiful because it's told in verse, which is means it's like a poem. It's kind of poetic. And when you read the story, you really learn about all the different reasons why Misael and his family and all these other people that are traveling in this caravan, why they felt the need to leave their home that they love so much. Um, you know, uh, Things like there's no work and, there's too much violence. And so you really feel this hope that they have for a better life. And you can feel, throughout their journey, during this journey, their struggle, their hardship, their sadness, their fear, their hopes and dreams, of something better that's coming. So finally, after this really long journey, and I thought about this, and it just, wow, is just crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine doing something like this. You're crossing, you're traveling, you're walking from one country to another. They have to cross, they leave El Salvador, they have to cross Guatemala, and then they have to get to Mexico and to the US border. And it's just amazing to think that, you can do this. Oh, and there at the back of the book, there's a cool, really cool map of like it that shows their like path, their trail that they took. Um, but anyway, so they finally, after this really long journey, they make it to the U.S. border, and Misael and his family are so relieved. Um, but everything is not what they thought. Well, they're met with not exactly what they were hoping to be met with. So find out what happens to Misael and his family by reading Caravan to the North. Okay, my next book is called The Best of Iggy, and it's written by Annie Barrows, who's the same author of, you're maybe familiar with the series Ivy and Bean. Um, but this is a story about a boy named Iggy. He's a fourth grader, and he's just full of crazy energy. He tends to kind of get into trouble a lot. He's not a bad kid. He's actually quite lovable and funny, but he just can't help getting into this trouble all the time. He doesn't think things through before he does them. He doesn't think about what could happen and the consequences when he does these crazy things, like convincing this one kid to jump off a roof onto a trampoline. And it's crazy, although his ideas sometimes are crazy, they're kind of funny, and for the most part, no one ever really gets hurt. Nothing serious ever happens until one day, this one time when he gets what he thinks is the best idea ever, but turns out to actually be the worst idea of all time. And he's really, really sorry for what he does. So if you want to find out what it is that he does, then read the book, The Best of Iggy. Okay, book number 3. This is called The Space We're In. It's by Katya, Balen. And this is it's a little hard to read. It's got a lot of, it's a very sensitive book, and it's got a lot of emotion in it. Well, I'll tell you, it's about 10-year-old Frank and his 5-year-old brother Max, who's autistic. And Frank loves numbers and patterns and cracking codes and playing soccer and riding his bike and all those sorts of things. But Max, you know, he likes only he'll only eat foods that are beige or white. He hates bright colors, and he'll only wear one kind of T-shirt. And if he has to wear a different kind of T-shirt, he has a major meltdown. So much of Frank's life at home revolves around his brother Max. Everything is organized around Max's needs, and that sometimes can make Frank feel ignored and frustrated that he doesn't have a normal brother. And he finds it difficult sometimes to stand up to kids in school who tease his brother, to stand up to these kids. He sometimes wishes that things could go back to the way they were before his brother was born. You know, his mom, she used to love to paint. She would paint these beautiful paintings of stars and asteroids, but she just doesn't have time for that anymore. So Frank really has trouble sometimes dealing with Max's behavior and their relationship. But one day, you know, this tragic event happens, and it kind of brings them together. It, you know, kind of helps Frank to really connect and bond with Max and really learn to love Max for who he is. So, yeah, it's really sensitive. It can make you laugh and cry and wonder and question, you know, but it's really inspiring. It's a really nice story. So try checking out the space we're in. Okay, next book, The Only Black Girls in Town by Brandy Colbert. I really love this book because it combines a lot of different topics that I enjoy, like diversity, identity, strong friendships, history, and a little bit of mystery. And so we have these two black girls. They're the only two black girls in town who discover a bunch of hidden journals that reveal like some shocking secrets of the past. So it begins with Alberta. She's 12 years old, and she lives in a small town in California with her two dads, and she's a beach-loving surfer. But she's the only black girl in town. She always has been. And she has a best friend named Laramie, who's white. And even though they're best friends, Alberta feels like sometimes there are things that Laramie just can't understand. Plus, lately it seems like Laramie is like drifting towards hanging out with the popular girl who's always bullied Alberta. But then one day, a new family moves into town, and it's a black family. And they have a daughter, Iggy, the same age as Alberta. And Alberta is excited and thrilled. She's sure they'll become like really quick friends. But the two girls are kind of different. They're quite different. Edie, the new girl, she dresses all in black. She's really proud of her hometown. She came from Brooklyn, and she really misses Brooklyn. And for the life of her, she can't understand why everyone loves the beach so much. But despite their differences, the two become really good friends, and they really begin to bond when they find these old journals in Edie's, new home, in Edie's attic, in the attic of their home. And and these journals are full of black history from 1955. And they begin trying to figure out this mystery behind these journals and the woman they belong to. So if you want to find out the mystery behind the journals, and you like history, and you want to find out, what's behind all this and the woman who left them there, then read The Only Black Girls in Town. All right. My last story, We Could Be Heroes by Margaret Finnegan. And this is a really heartwarming story. It has a lot of tense moments and a lot of funny moments. And it's about two friends who get into a whole mess of trouble when they decide to be heroes and save this dog. So there's 10-year-old Hank. He gets into trouble one day for destroying this really sad book that his teacher was making the class read, and he didn't like. It was just too sad. And he gets suspended for destroying the book, and I won't tell you how he destroys it, but he gets suspended for that. And this catches the eye of this girl, Maisie. She's the new girl. And it catches her attention because she's been looking for someone just like this, with some guts to help her with a really important mission. And that is to save the dog next door. This dog named Buller. Buller has seizures, and his owner keeps him tied to a tree all day and all night because he has these seizures. And this makes Hank even sadder than the book he hated to read, because he knows what it's like to be treated differently and poorly because of something that makes you different, because Hank has autism. But as much as Maisie and Hank think, oh, we could be heroes if we do this, things become more complicated, and we find out that Buller is not, he might not be the only one who needs saving. So, do they wind up being heroes? Well, you'll have to read the book. We could be heroes. Okay, that's it, guys. Those are my 5 books. I hope you liked listening to a little bit about each one, and I really hope that, if not all of them, maybe a few of them, a couple of them, or at least one of them, sparked your interest and will make you want to check it out. All right, so if you do, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.